So I want to explain how we calculate and reverse engineer a mortgage payment and what you're pre-approved for. A lot of clients come in, hey, I make this much, or they call you on the phone, and how do you guys come up with a number? How do I get more? How do I get less? How do you come up with a number that I'm pre-approved with, and how do you correlate that into a purchase price? So I'm gonna give an example behind me of how we kind of come up with that, so you can understand a little bit how debt to income obviously works. That's a big part of it. Let me give you the example how we would figure this out. So for example, let's say you're a client, you come to me and say, listen, I make $120,000 a year. Again, we go off of gross income, so your income before taxes, before the net, right? Before the strain and all the taxes come out. We always go off gross income. That's a benefit to you guys. So $120,000 a year, we break it down on a monthly, right? That means they're making $10,000 a month. Roughly, depending on the certain loan program, we're going to give you right around 50% of that. They're going to allow 50% of that to go toward your total debt, okay? Because they want to allow 50% of it to cover you. You go entertainment, you have house expenses, household expenses, you have other stuff, life in general. They're not going to give you the full 10,000. You got to have something to live off of. So in this scenario, we're going to say that 50%, you're going to have good credit, 50% of your total gross monthly income can go towards debt. Not your mortgage payment, but debt. I'm going to explain why. So here we got $5,000 of monthly income we can play with to look at mortgage payments. Now, the other thing you got to factor in is we got to take away your current debt. So in this situation, let's say their current debt is what's on their credit report. So on their credit report, they have a $600 a month card payment. They have a Visa credit card that they pay $100 a month, and they have a MasterCard that they pay $80 a month. Now, keep in mind, this is what's on the credit report. Some people say, well, I pay $300 a month, right? I pay $500 a month on my credit card. We don't give a rat's ass, to be honest. We go off of the number that's on the credit report. So that's usually a benefit to you because it's usually the minimum payment. So in this situation, it's $600, $180, that's $700 and $780 a month of total current debt that they have. Okay. So $5,000 we have available to use for your total debt, $780 that we already have currently. So you have to take that $780 away from your $5,000 that we're allocating or that they're allocating for your total payments. That leaves us with $4,220 to play with, right? So now as a mortgage loan officer, we know that number is what we can use for a mortgage payment, right? So we reverse engineer, work backwards and say how much of a mortgage or how much of a purchase price is going to yield a $4,200 or $4,220 a month mortgage payment, right? So that's where you kind of experience come in, you plug in numbers, you kind of know. So I threw in a $550,000 loan doing FHA, okay? No loan, not a purchase price, right? This is a loan. So let's say you're buying it for $600, you're putting 50 grand down or 575. This is 550,000 you're borrowing at, let's say, 6.75 interest rate hypothetically. Now, again, it's not just your mortgage payment, right? There's 5 aspects like I've talked about in my previous videos. There's 5 different things that go into a mortgage loan. Your principal and interest, county taxes, home insurance, PMI or private mortgage insurance. So in this scenario, $3,093 is your loan. We're going to say $250 a month for taxes on this big of a home. We're going to say home insurance is about $125 a month, and your private mortgage insurance with this scenario FHA is $252. Add all that together, $4,194.37 is what your mortgage payment would be. So we're pretty damn close to this number. So I would say, listen, you probably can qualify for a $555,000 loan because we have a little bit to work with, right? But that's how we reverse engineer. If I come up with this number and this number is too high, well, guess what? I got to lower this, or I got to lower the interest rate, or I got to say, oh, you know what? I qualified you at $10,000 a month, but you have some overtime or some bonuses. I can throw another $500 or $600 in there. Boom, that number goes up. This number goes up. This number goes up. Then we're able to qualify for more. But that's a little idea how we kind of qualify and reverse engineer. If you're making this much money with this type of scenario, this is what I would come to you and say, listen, you're qualified for about a $575,000 purchase price, putting $25,000 down. You'd be borrowing $550, XYZ. That'd be your mortgage payment. Boom, with your current income, gross income, current debts, blah, blah, blah. That's about $422, $4,220 a month. You're just under that. Here's your pre-approval. Good to go.